Rallying outside the Japanese embassy in Seoul, protesters condemned Shinzo Abe's government for what they call economic retaliation. Weeks of heightened tension between the East Asian allies has seen Japan curbing exports to its neighbor and a nationwide boycott of Japanese products in South Korea. Ties turned sour in October after a Seoul court ordered 2 Japanese firms to pay compensation to Koreans forced to work for them during the Second World War. Japan has dismissed the ruling. On Friday, it widened the rift by removing South Korea from a so-called white list of 27 preferential trading partners. But Tokyo says the decision is unrelated to wartime labor issues.
The cabinet decision is a necessary review for the proper operation of export control system for national security reasons.
Last month, Japan tightened restrictions on exports of key chip-making materials used in semiconductors and smartphone displays. Those components are the main cash cow for tech giants like Samsung and SK Hynix, which are bracing to take a hit. Japan's latest decision is expected to impact 159 Korea-made items. It also means Japanese firms will need government approval before exporting specific products to South Korea. South Korea has responded with the Boycott Japan movement, which has seen people changing holiday plans and refusing to buy Japanese products, from clothes to alcoholic beverages. President Moon Jae-in has promised stronger retaliatory measures, saying Japan's decision could disrupt global trade, already battered by the US and China's trade war.
The step taken by Japan is something that impairs the long-standing economic cooperation and friendly partnership between our two countries, posing a grave challenge to the bilateral relationship. Moreover, it is a selfish, destructive act that will cripple the global supply chain and wreak havoc on the global economy.
So far, the World Trade Organization and the US have failed to calm tensions. And with South Korea and Japan expected to stand their ground, global trade may again have to bear the brunt of tit-for-tat blows between 2 economic giants. Laila Humairah, TRT World.
Well, from Seoul, Joseph Kim has more on the impact of Japan's latest export curbs.
We're seeing the immediate impact of the trade dispute between South Korea and Japan, and market experts tell me that it will negatively affect both economies. Friday, we saw the Japanese stock market index Nikkei fall by 2.11%, while the South Korean Kospi fell by 0.95%. But this is just the beginning. Although Japan is citing security concerns for its trade restrictions amid the ongoing diplomatic standoff over grievances under Japan's occupation of Korea, Tokyo is trying to restrict growth engines of South Korea. Semiconductors are one of South Korea's most important sectors, but Korean chip makers import 80% of their parts, many of which are from Japan. By removing Seoul from its whitelist, Tokyo is disrupting South Korea's supply chain and creating temporary roadblocks for needed chemicals and machinery. This is why we're seeing companies like Samsung and LG preparing contingencies, including diversifying their supply portfolio. On the flip side, diversification will be difficult for Japan. Although South Korea's trade ministry did not elaborate on how many items would be affected by removing Tokyo from its whitelist, Korean companies account for 60% of the global output of memory chips, and in the long term, Japanese companies who sell to Korean buyers will be impacted, especially since Korea makes up a considerable share of the sales. Further, market analysts argue that the dispute may actually boost China's push for 5G dominance, which would hurt both Seoul and Tokyo, and in the long term will add more uncertainties for the Asian countries as the trade war between the United States and China continues.